Hello guys, welcome back. This time we've got a very special guest.
Yes.
And a very good looking one as well, I must say. I must admit. Alex, thanks for making time, man.
No worries, yeah, it's all good.
So Alex is one of our project managers in Relab. What he does on a daily basis, well, I'll let you speak for yourself, but essentially Alex makes sure things go to our customers. I guess that's the most simple way of doing it, of saying it, but in the right quality that we wanted to have as well. Okay, so I guess before we start, for those who don't know you that well,
Yeah.
give us a story about how you first started at Relab, I guess.
First started, okay. Alright, so I just finished uni in December last year. This time last year, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So I finished up, I was working at Adventure World in Perth, Western Australia.
Yes.
So I was cleaning up bins and things like that.
That's theme park.
Yeah, it's an amusement
Just
park,
for
yeah.
clarification,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
So I was doing that and I was looking for design jobs, entry-level roles,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what I can get in. And I guess were you guys advertising? I think so, you must have been.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. So I saw the
It
role.
wasn't for a design role though.
No, so I wasn't. Yeah, so I studied digital design. So I applied for a role that was project coordinating multimedia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I applied for that.
That was the Relab role, I think. It's called multimedia coordinator or something like that.
Yeah. So I applied for that must have been January or February.
Yes. Yeah.
So then I got a call from yourself. Oh, from Adele.
From Intel.
Yeah, actually from Adele.
Yes.
While I was at work.
Yeah.
So I remember walking out like, oh, hey, here you going? Organise that and then pretty much book flights for next
you
week.
were in Perth still at the
Yeah,
time.
so I booked flights for next week and came over for the interview.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess kind of like fast forward from that, we did a couple of interviews. I think we did 2 interviews, right?
Yeah.
But you did make some effort, obviously traveling from Perth, and I remember in the second interview you did something as well, which was kind of like a presentation on an app design or something like that.
Yeah, I did up a little, I guess, Need for Speed parody app.
Yeah, Alex loves cars, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that second interview, that was the one that really made an impression, I think, on us. Because I think you kind of went the extra mile for it, and like we didn't really ask you to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But things like that does make a difference sometimes. So in going back to your role here at Relab, what is your day-to-day responsibility here?
I
Or
basically.
how do you see your day-to-day responsibility?
I guess the main thing would be trying to get through all the assets that are required for the clients.
Yeah.
So that would be having a brief sent through, running through it with myself, running through it with a designer, going back asking questions before we start,
Yeah.
and then basically just managing that getting finished and sent back as quick as we can, as to a higher quality as we can. Yeah.
And what's the most? So you come from a design background, and the reason why we were looking for a project coordinator from a designer, someone who's a little bit more technical in terms of their background, is because we were hoping that you're going to have a bit more empathy towards the guys that are working behind the scenes. And with Didi, if you've been following us, I guess you would have known Didi from a couple of other episodes. So Alex works really closely with Didi, and essentially it's the same role, which is making sure that delivery happens at the right standards, but also being able to understand requirements. Now the problems, well, I must say the challenges that we've had, not we, but me, myself personally, in previous agencies that I've worked in, is that when you have account managers who are not very technical, they could end up just being messengers, and there's so many discrepancies between the communications that it increases the risk of delaying work and stuff like that. So, and that's the reason why at Relab, when we found that it has been really successful, is that we wanted to make sure that the client-facing roles that we have here understands the technical bits that happens as well, and having a designer or a developer doing that, as long as you've got good people skills, which Alex does, that's probably the best way to do it, or that's how we've learned so far. For those who are just wondering what's a day like for you, what usually happens? So as soon as you walk into the office in the morning, what usually happens in a day?
Well, usually there's a few emails that get sent during the night from clients.
Yes.
A little bit late.
Yeah.
So we'll go through that. About 9:30, 10, we'll run through with the team everything that's come through.
Yeah.
What needs to be done by a certain time. Just to catch up with everyone, designer and project managers. And then from there onwards, it's just managing what we're working on.
Yeah.
Making sure it's all getting finished in time.
Yeah. And we do that. We do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
To start fresh in the morning. So it's mainly you. There's Dee, there's Jess, our design lead, but the other designers would chip in as well and would listen in when required, right?
Yeah.
Just so you've got that goal to hit for the day and know exactly what we're dealing with, because as you said, there's always kind of like something that happens overnight that it shifts the priority sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's a good way of doing it, we find, for our size. What kind of projects that you're working on at the moment? Like what type of things that you work on?
Daily or?
I guess on a daily basis for your case.
Yeah, it varies quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
Like we've had online packaging that's been lingering around for a little while.
Yeah.
But that's on and off, I guess. We don't really touch that too often. Daily, just online assets.
Yeah.
A lot of web banners,
Yeah.
retargeting ads, EDMs, basically an EDM per day for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the things that we do almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest challenge in doing things like that is what? What do you think? Is it keeping things on track, or because they're also repetitive sometimes that it gets a bit boring, or what do you think is the biggest challenge?
Bouncing around so much. So if I'm talking to a client about what we need for a homepage banner or a digital asset, and then another client comes in asking for something else that's completely different, I have to be able to switch quite quickly to the other thing and know what's going on.
Did it take you a while to kind of get used to that?
Yeah. So it does take a while.
Yeah. Does it help that you've got a design background or understanding on design tools at least?
Yeah, for sure. I help out with little copy changes and things like that if it's needed. It's a bit quicker than waiting for a designer to finish up what they're working on to be able to get that through. So I can do that myself.
Yeah.
And just quick turnaround.
Yeah, cool. And in terms of working with the team, so at Reallab we're mainly designers and developers, and there's a couple of admin people as well, but it's mainly designers and developers.
Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge that you've encountered so far working in that team environment? There's 12 of us here, but there's probably 4 to 5 designers and 3 developers. What's the biggest challenge for you doing things like that, or managing this whole communication in between cross-sectional team environment?
I think it's just making sure everyone has everything they need.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I wasn't aware of or hadn't been briefed about links and things for the developers, which sounds really obvious, but originally I didn't know about it, like being an issue. So I just be like, the artwork's done, go nuts. But now it's a bit like I know like there's a list of what they need before.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was an issue at the start of communication, I guess.
Yeah.
But in terms of cross between design and developers, I think we've tidied up a little bit lately.
Yeah, well, because historically, I mean, there's always challenges.
Yeah.
There's always things that we could improve, but as a team, the thing that we're trying to constantly find is just a better way of working together, so we could eliminate those risks where we can. And as we grow, and with the availability of technology and stuff like that, and the tools and resources that are available, usually, you could actually alter things and workflows. and I think that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And with the size of our business as well, it's quite often that it happens that something will change, or just the system will change, and then we'll review it when once we've trialed it, type of thing. Yeah. Okay. So I won't hold you up any longer because I know you've got things to get back to. But the last question is probably just about, for those who are wanting to get into this type of industry, whether it's a design studio, a digital agency, or any other creative businesses out there, what would be your tip on, first of all, knowing what you want to do? So for someone like you, you were a designer. You're kind of like still on that mindset at the moment, but then your day-to-day at the moment is more managing jobs. Like, how do you know? Or like, you don't really know until you try it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you don't really know till you try.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted to be a designer. I look at the work these guys do, and the amount of things they turn around, and there's a bit more pressure on them than in me, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
From designers to managers.
Yeah.
But for getting into the industry, I would say just experience. Because I had...
Get your foot on the door.
Yeah, just anything. Just be hand up for anything and give it a go.
Yeah.
I had what?
Because you did some design work as well.
Yeah, so I had an internship before.
Yes.
During the end of my uni, because I had a bit more time. I was only doing 2 units at the end.
Yeah.
And then before I even started uni, I had a junior graphic design role with no experience at all.
Yeah.
So I was just doing anything I could really that was into the design industry. So
yeah, I think that definitely helps, because I remember when I was looking at your resume, even it actually helps that you have those experiences. And it drives more interest from the employer's point of view as well. But I think that's right. Just to get your foot in the door is probably the first step. And then at least it allows you to gain experience and to learn and to know whether you like it or you don't, or you might try something else. It doesn't matter, because everyone's so young anyway when they graduate, right?
You definitely change your mind what you want to do.
Yeah.
Quite quickly.
Yeah. Well, Alex, thank you so much for making time. I know you're very busy. I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right. Thanks, guys. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, do so. And please share this around to those who might find it interesting. All right. Thank you.